Welcome to the Ambitious Broker Podcast, where elite real estate professionals share their secrets to success, discuss topics impacting their industry, and gain professional development insights. Enjoy today's episode. Hey everyone, please welcome Chris Williams to our Ambitious Broker Icon series. As a RE/MAX agent, Chris Williams is dedicated to helping her clients find the home of their dreams. What makes her different is that she knows the local community, both as an agent and a neighbor, and can help guide you through the nuances of the local market in the San Fernando Valley. With access to top listings, a worldwide network, exceptional marketing strategies, and cutting-edge technology, Chris works hard to make sure your real estate experience is memorable and enjoyable. What a humble bio from such a powerhouse in the industry. Today is the first installment of this series with Chris. Enjoy today's episode.
So welcome, Ambitious Brokers. I'm here today with Chris Williams, a longtime friend and real estate superstar. Chris has been in the real estate business since, I think, the late 70s. 1978. And has been nothing but a tornado in real estate in the San Fernando Valley. So I've asked Chris to be with us today, and we're going to get into a little bit of what makes Chris tick.
Be here.
So I know you well enough to know a lot of your history and what's made you successful in real estate, but I really want to share some of that. And I always found it interesting with people like you is that there's so much background that goes into what it is that makes you tick today. Like, as an example, as sweet as you look and as sweet as you are seriously the most competitive human being I think I know. And in fairness, I got to tell the story because not long ago we were playing a game and Chris told me up front that she was going to cheat, and that she had to win, and you were going to cheat. It was my job to catch you.
Did I really
you
say
did
that?
Say that.
Oh,
you did
gosh,
say that.
and we have to tell the world that?
And we had to tell her, right.
I like to win.
Yes.
I do. I very much like to win. But I don't like to cheat to win, but in cards against you, I guess I do.
You cheat if you have to.
Yes. Okay. Only when it's necessary.
I don't like to cheat unless I'm losing.
I
got it. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting.
But I think that what inspired me in real estate was watching other people do really, really well. And I saw how respected they were. I saw the joy and the satisfaction they got from being really good at doing something.
Yeah.
And I'd never been good at anything.
Ever?
Never.
You weren't a cheerleader? You weren't a...
I was a cheerleader, but
you
I
were
was
a
a terrible one.
Right.
I was a terrible one, but
Right.
I was a cheerleader.
Right.
I wanted to be really, really good at something. I wanted to work really hard and show myself and those around me that I could be good at something.
So what did mom and dad do?
My dad was a traveling salesman and a business owner and a black belt in karate.
Oh.
And my mom, she was kind of a stay-at-home mom with a ton of hobbies.
Right.
So her hobbies were her life, not really her family, but her hobbies, her horses, her land, her gardening were her life.
Got it.
So I didn't catch my vision from my parents.
Oh, interesting.
No, I didn't. In my household, it was, if it's to be, it's up to me. If I'm going to be something, it's 100% up to me.
Really?
Yeah, my siblings all went to college and got a really nice start. And I kind of got a kick in the butt when high school ended. Like, okay, what are you going to do now?
Right.
So I had to figure it out.
And so what did you do after high school?
Right after high school, I got a job working for a bank in downtown LA.
Right.
And I was 17 years old and put on a little suit and showed up, and I was a receptionist, and I felt so important. I had a desk and a little placard on my desk and thought, this is big time.
Right.
And then they kept adding to my responsibility. I was a switchboard operator, the old-fashioned kind with the cords and the hissing and buzzing. And
cords? Are you serious? You mean pulling cables out?
Pulling cables,
no
you
kidding.
bet. Yep, I could still do it.
God, we got to be careful about
Yeah.
revealing that stuff. Yeah.
I know.
How long that is. So okay, so you were doing that, and so then you'd go to work every day, and you'd see stuff around you. Was that influential?
It was. I saw. So I worked for an accounting firm at the time. It was Haskins and Sells.
Oh, okay.
And I saw the partners, and I saw these young people coming in, doing really, really well. And I thought, I'm sitting behind a desk. I'm a receptionist. I want to do more. So I started studying for my real estate license. Well, I was working the switchboard.
Wow.
Quiet times, I'd have my real estate material in front of the
So
switchboard.
what was it? What was that was a button there. There's something said get into real estate. What was it?
There was. My mom's best friend was a realtor in Sun Valley, Laura Wooldridge. And one day in passing, she said to me, I think you'd be a good realtor. Like, wait, did you just throw me a compliment?
Yeah.
Did you say I'd be good at something? I'd never heard that before.
Right.
And so I took it and ran with it and thought, if she believes in me, then I think I can do that.
You know, it's funny to say that because when I was probably in 10th grade, I remember my parents were selling their house, and we had a real estate person in the house, and she said something very similar to me, and it stuck there. Didn't stay, but it was sort of in the back of my mind, and I really do remember thinking, well, that would be interesting, you know. So, okay, so then you went ahead, then you got your license, and then you started looking for a place to work.
I did. So to back up a little bit,
Yes.
I got promoted at work to work for a partner. Who knows why? Because I didn't have the skill set.
Right.
And I accepted the position. And then the very next day, I decided that is not what I want to do. I want to go into real estate full time.
That looked like a commitment.
Yeah.
And you weren't ready to make a commitment like that.
Yeah, it was so boring. I'm going to be behind a desk.
Right.
I'm going to push paper for other people. I was a terrible typist. It was downtown LA, the
Right.
One Wilshire building, riding a bus to work every day, sitting next to homeless, thinking, I don't want this to be my future.
Your life, yeah.
Yeah,
Now, were you married at the time?
I was. Yeah,
Okay.
married at 19.
Now, your husband, I know, was in insurance. Did he start then?
He did.
So
we
he was
both-
already in the insurance business. Okay, and
Yeah.
he's had a very successful career as well. And so, in fact, how influential was that on you?
I mean, it was great because we both started really from ground zero at
Right.
exactly the same time.
Right.
And he would help me and I would help him.
Right.
And it was great to build it together.
And were there enough parallels between the selling and businesses that you guys could say, well, I need to do this more, I need to do that more? Or are they just that different? Real estate and insurance.
Well, I think when you watch somebody try to build something when you're in sales,
Yeah.
you admire the courage that it takes every single day to go out there. Nobody comes to you and says, you're awesome.
Right.
I want to do this for you.
Right.
It doesn't work that way.
Right.
You say, I want to be awesome. Let me gain the skill set to be worthy to earn business.
Right.
So we shared that journey together. Lots of night appointments, lots of evenings, and that was way before computers. And
So
Yes.
now, did you have children already?
no kids.
No
yet.
kids.
No, that
So
came
you got
later.
it, and then you hatched all the kids after you started your
Yeah,
career.
yeah.
Okay, well that's even more interesting because that's an interesting dynamic for people. You know, I know in my life as owner of a company that I'd see a lot of women come into business, and then you have to juggle more than we do.
Yeah, it was a
You
lot
really
to
do.
juggle.
Yeah. Okay, so you got into, when I say we, I mean men. So when you get into real estate, you started, I think, in a small office, right? 8 or 10 people.
Yeah, eight if everybody shows up.
Everybody should, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was real typical in those days.
It was.
People in real estate today don't realize that these large, massive offices are kind of a last couple decade phenomenon.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
it was always
tiny.
small. Yeah.
Yeah, red carpet.
Red carpet.
Yeah, red carpet realty.
And so what was it like then? You had a single manager, probably the owner of the office at the time, right? And what was her influence on you?
Well, her name was Helen Elroy, and she was a legend.
Right.
I didn't realize how much of a legend she was, but she was not going to baby me. She was not going to pamper me. I show up with my license. I don't have a clue what to do. And she said, you're going to sit down, you're going to write a little note to everyone you know and tell them you're in real estate. And ironically, I have one of those notes that
Do
I
you?
wrote to my mother-in-law. Yeah.
It's
pretty
so
fun.
funny you say that because I still say that today. It all
works.
starts with everybody you know.
Yep.
And, I tell a lot of the people that I coach that, rule one to me in real estate is that your income is going to be directly proportionate to how many people know you, like you, trust you, and today know what you stand for. I throw that little extra thing in there. So it's really funny that back then it was so basic, right?
So basic.
Start with everybody you know.
Everyone you know.
Yeah.
And then the really...
Little handwritten note.
Little handwritten note.
I'm in real estate.
Yep.
Okay.
With my business card.
Okay.
Yep.
That's simple.
And the second thing that she did for me, which I'll forever be grateful, is she introduced me to Tommy Hopkins. And she basically slid his cassette tapes across the desk, and she said, just listen to him. Just do this. I'm like,
Right.
Tommy Hopkins, who's that? I listened to those tapes. I mean, to this day, I could still recite lines. And she said, just grab onto something that he's promoting. And it was for sale by owners.
Oh, really?
FSBOs.
Okay.
And so I got my little 3-ring binder notebook out, and I started working for sale by owners.
Wow.
And had instant success with for sale by owners.
What was the trick?
The trick was just to be personable, to care. And you have to want to win. You have to want to get that listing.
Okay, so where does that competitive nature start to kick in? To get you there, or during your conversation when you're there? Does that make sense?
It does.
Because I know for me, getting out of my office into my car and to my farm when I first started was a tremendous challenge. And literally that was it. If I could pass that moment, I'd be okay. I mean, I would sometimes get to my farm, I would drive around, and I'd struggle getting out of my car.
Yeah.
And I had a solution for that. But then once I started, no problem.
Right.
So, excuse me, but for me, that competitiveness was really getting there. Now, when I was talking to people at the door, I was just me. Is that what you found out?
Not exactly. I think I wanted a listing. I wanted to do this. I really, really wanted to do it. I didn't have anything else to fall back on. I didn't go to college.
So you were very, very in that interaction with the client. You were just focused
and enthusiastic.
And enthusiastic.
I think if you strip everything away from me, I had enthusiasm. Maybe that's the one thing I got from cheerleading. I was going to be enthusiastic. Maybe I wasn't going to be great. Maybe I was going to make a lot of mistakes, but I was really excited and happy to be there.
Right.
And wanted to do this. So much so, the first FSBO I got was on broadleaf. I think it was 7136 broadleaf.
Wow.
And they said to me, okay, we're ready to go with you. Ready to go with me? I don't know what to do.
Right.
I said, okay, I'll be right back. I ran to my office and I said, they said they want to go with me. What does that mean? And so Helen, she didn't come with me. She said, take this piece of paper. It was a 1-page listing agreement. She said, take this back with you and get them to sign it. Like, really? Is it always this easy? She said, it's not.
Never. Yeah.
No, count your blessings.
Yeah.
But that's Tommy Hopkins. He inspired me.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Oh my goodness. I believed in him. I thought if I do exactly what he tells me to do, I can do this.
Yeah. Well, in training for my company, when I started in the business, he was brought up because he worked at Forrest Olson, and so he had left by the time I got there, went into doing his training, but his word was there, and it had a little bit of influence on me getting into the farming part of it. But you're right. It was, in fact, I remember my first farm listing. I literally was walking down the street, first couple of weeks of farming, and someone was walking out of a door, and they looked like a real estate person. So I waited and I let them go. Then I walked immediately to the door. I knocked on the door and I said, was that a real estate person that just left? And she says, yes. And I said, well, I'm real estate too. And are you thinking about selling your house? She said, yes. I says, well, would you give me the opportunity to talk to you? And she says, well, give me your phone number. And I says, okay. I gave her my phone number. I asked her for hers. She gave me the number. She says, call my husband in the morning. So here's the point that you were talking about a little bit, I think, and that is I talked to the husband the next morning. He says, boy, you sound a little young. How many houses have you sold? And then at that point in time, that competitiveness that you talked about just came out. And I'm like, one of the people in training says, just remember, when everything you've said and done, say, I can sell your house for you. And that was the first sell by owner thing. I can sell your house. I can sell your house. Mm-hmm. So I'm on the phone with this guy, and he says, Jesus, how many houses have you sold? And I says, well, this will be my first listing. And he said, really? And I said, yes. And then I get on this big thing about, but I can sell your house. I can sell your house. And I've got all this, and I've got all this enthusiasm, and I'm so ambitious. And I just blurted it all out. And it happened that he was a insurance salesman. I think he liked it.
Wow.
I think he said, yeah, this guy's kind of like, So, to your point, right?
Yeah, and persistence.
And you were like that.
I was like that. I was very much like that. So what Tommy said was every day you get the paper, you cut out that for sale by owner, you tape it in your book, you call, and then you go buy.
Right.
And I didn't know how hard it was going to be.
Thank you for joining us for this first installment of our Icon series with Chris Williams. I know I can't wait to hear the rest of the story. Stay tuned next week for the next segment. Thanks for joining us on another episode of the Ambitious Broker Podcast, where elite real estate professionals share their secrets to success, discuss topics impacting their industry, and gain professional development insights. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please rate it and leave a review.